Okay, guys, hello from rainy Brussels. You see Belgium's or Brussels landmark behind me. This is the atomium. Do you see it? Okay, what are we going to do today? As usual, two small articles. The first one is about a whale. Maybe you've heard about Timmy the whale. And then the second one is about a new law, a new bill, a new law, a tobacco law in the United Kingdom. Okay, but so as usual, as you asked me, which is really good, I'm going to read the two texts in Dutch, so you can just listen to them. And you know, the file is the link to the file is beneath the video here, so you can always find it. But first, listen and listen several times to the two small articles. Timmy de walvis. Timmy is een bultrug in nood. Deze bultrug is een soort walvis van 12 meter. Eind maart zwom Timmy zich vast in ondiep water. Dat gebeurde voor de Duitse kust. Wekenlang probeerden redders Timmy weer in zee te krijgen. Dat mislukte elke keer. Vorige week kon Timmy zelf wegzwemmen. Maar ook dat duurde niet lang. Veel Duitsers hopen nu op een soort bak uit staal. Daar zwom Timmy in. Een sleepboot trekt de bak nu naar de Noordzee. Volgens kenners is het zijn laatste kans. Tabakwet. Het Verenigd Koninkrijk, VK, krijgt binnenkort een nieuwe wet over tabak en vapen. Die wet is een van de strengste ter wereld. Ze verbiedt tabak en vapes voor iedereen geboren na 2008. Ook kopen kan niet. Het VK wil zo meer en nieuwe rokers voorkomen. De nieuwe wet gaat vanaf 2027 in. Er staan ook andere strenge regels in. Zo mag je niet meer vapen in een auto met kinderen. Ook in en rond scholen wordt vapen verboden. So there we are. I hear the rain. Well, it's early morning, but it's already raining. That's really Belgium, Brussels. Okay, let's go to the first article about Timmy. Maybe you've heard about Timmy. Timmy is a whale. And you see here in Dutch you say a whale fish. Timmy the walvis, the whalefish or the whale. Timmy is een bultrug in nood. So Timmy is and bultrug, it's like a humpback whale. And so this is back, rug is back, and bult is a hump. So a humpback in need. Deze bultrug is een soort walvis van 12 meter. So this humpback is a sort of or a kind of whale of 12 meters. Now, look here. In Dutch, you will not say meters, you say meter. You do not say the plural here. For measurements, you do not say the plural. So 12 meter and not meters in Dutch. Eind maart zwom Timmy zich vast in ondiep water. So the end of March or at the end of March. And you see we swapped subject verb. You remember? When we start with something which is not the subject, we swap verb and subject. So we first put the verb and then the subject. So by the end of March, Timmy swam himself, stuck. Yes, vast here is this separable particle which goes together with the verb. So remember, I talked about it. So the verb is vast zwemmen, meaning to swim and to get stuck. It's like two meanings or two verbs in one. Okay, vast zwemmen. So it's like as if it says Timmy swam himself stuck in undeep water. Well, undeep water, it's shallow water. Now, you probably are thinking, but why is this little word vast not totally at the end? It should be at the end. It should be at the end of the sentence. Well, very good if you remember that. Yes, we always say one verb in the beginning, one at the end. But a part of the sentence that might get out of that construction is a part starting with a preposition. And we have here a preposition in. So prepositions are in, on, with, etc. Okay? If you have questions, please ask me. That happened, no, first in Dutch, sorry. Dat gebeurde voor de Duitse kust. So that happened, we have here a simple past, gebeurde. Voor, in Dutch, we'll say in front of the German coast. Now, in English, you would rather say off the German coast. Now, watch out, Duits is not Dutch. Dutch is Nederlands. So Duits, it's German. Don't forget that. Now, gebeurde is coming from the verb gebeuren. You remember we take the basic part, and then we are going to decide for the regular verbs, are we going to add de or te? We look at the last letter of the basis, which is r. R is not in the word soft ketchup, meaning we're going to add de. If you forgot about that rule and you do not understand, please ask me. Wekenlang probeerden redders Timmy weer in zee te krijgen. So weeks long, meaning during weeks and weeks. Have you seen we swapped again? Redders is the subject. It means, what is it? Rescuers maybe, or lifeguards. Probeerden, tried. What did they try? Te krijgen, to get Timmy again in the sea. Yes, we have one verb in front and then te plus the verb at the end. Always. Is there something else? Yes. Probeerden is coming from the verb proberen. We take the basis here. And one day I will explain to you why. No, that's not it. It's still here. You see? Probeer. But have you seen that here there is an extra E? Probeerden. If you want me to explain that, I will do. That's really something typically Dutch. But anyhow, the last letter of the basis is R, which is not in soft ketchup, so we're going to add den for the plural. Probeerden, right? Dat mislukte elke keer. So that failed, but mislukken, it's like miss-succeeded. You see it in that verb? To miss-succeed, well, to fail, that failed each time. And why did we add te for the past tense, for the simple past? Because the K is in soft ketchup, right? Vorige week kon Timmy zelf wegzwemmen. So last week, and we swapped again, Timmy could himself swim away. Maar ook dat duurde niet lang. But also that, or that also, did not last long. Duurde, duren means to last, duren. And maybe you can think of the duration of something, huh? Duration. So it means to last. That also did not last long. Veel Duitsers hopen nu op een soort bak uit staal. So many Germans, not Dutch people, but Germans, hope now, or they're hoping now for, they're hoping for a sort of or a kind of container made out of steel, of steel. Yes, maybe you saw the pictures that they're going to put the whale inside the container. Daar zwom Timmy in. Ah, and we have the verb here in zwemmen. We have again swapped verb and subject because we started with daar, which is not the subject. So there Timmy swam in, but in is here the particle which has been separated from the verb. Een sleepboot trekt de bak nu naar de Noordzee. Slepen is to pull. Could we say like a tugboat pulls the container now towards the North Sea? I think this container has been paid by two billionaires, I think, European billionaires, I think, and they paid for that container to save the whale, which is really fantastic. Oké, volgens kenners is het zijn laatste kans. So, according to kenners, kennen is to know, people who know. So let's say experts, according to experts, it is, we swapped subject and verb, it is his last chance. Okay, so let's see if Timmy survives in the open sea. Okay, guys, so now we have the second article, and the name is tabakwet. Wet, it's a law, a bill or a law. Tabak, it's tobacco. So it's a tobacco law. Het Verenigd Koninkrijk krijgt binnenkort een nieuwe wet over tabak en vapen. So the United Kingdom, which is also abbreviated to VK, Verenigd Koninkrijk, United Kingdom, gets binnenkort, very soon, a new law about tobacco and vaping. Vapen. Normally an A you have to pronounce A in Dutch, but here it's a word coming from English. So we will pronounce it like in English, vapen. And the EN, well, that's because it became a Dutch verb. Die wet is één van de strengste ter wereld. So that law is one of the severest or the most severe in the world. Well, why did we put two small accent on the in? Because it's not it's not a law, it's in. They want to put the accent on one. It's one of the most, one of the toughest in the world. Ze verbiedt tabak en vapes voor iedereen geboren na 2008. So, well, in Dutch you would say she. Remember, we have he, she much more often than in English. In English, it will definitely be it. It forbids tobacco and vapes for everybody born after 2008. Ook kopen kan niet. Also, buying it, to buy it, cannot. Cannot, it's a bit like is not allowed. Het VK, Verenigd Koninkrijk, wil zo meer en nieuwe rokers voorkomen. So, the United Kingdom wants, zo means like that, they want in that way, they want like that, voorkomen, to avoid more and new smokers. So, voorkomen means to avoid. De nieuwe wet gaat vanaf 2027 in. So, the new law, and then we have the verb ingaan. You see? Ingaan, in is, that's the particle that has been separated, but ingaan, if we're talking about a law, It's really meaning enter into force. So the new law enters into force from 2027 on. Er staan ook andere strenge regels in. So there are, and I'm going to say something about staan, but the in is part of the verb. It's in staan, huh? Being in there, to stand, to be in there. So there are also other severe rules or tough rules in there. Now, why do we use staan in Dutch, but also in English? There are position verbs. So we could have said here, er zijn. There are. Could have been. But instead of saying zijn, there are a lot of position verbs. Could be zit, there is sitting. Here it's staan. Normally it's to stand, but it's also used for things that are written. Here the law has been written. When it's written on paper or on a computer, you can also use the verb staan. Don't forget position verbs. So er zijn becomes a position verb. We'll talk about that later. Zo mag je niet meer vapen in een auto met kinderen. That's logic. That's good. So you may not, or you're not allowed anymore to vape in a car with kids. Good. Ook in en rond scholen wordt vapen verboden. Also in and around schools. And then, you see, we swapped again. The subject here is vapen. Vapen becomes, or vaping becomes forbidden. Yes, you might think, but this is like a verb. Yes, it is a verb, but a verb can also be a subject. Like here it's vaping becomes forbidden, will be forbidden. Okay, guys, so the document is here beneath the video. If you have questions, do not hesitate. If you want to know something about Belgium, if you want me to show something in Belgium, it's quite a lovely country we have, but for the moment, it's raining like hell. Thank you for reading with me. See you next week. Bye-bye.